Hey everybody, welcome to a very special update, dev update. I mean special because it's my first dev update, so it's special for me, but I'm very excited to be here. Very excited, of course, to be joined by Adam Bradford. We have some cool updates to go through today with you guys. We have some special guests to introduce you to. We're going to start peeling back the curtain a little bit and introducing you to some of the team members that actually build the D&D Beyond toolset, so you can get to know them a little bit. And then we're going to be taking your questions throughout. So without further ado, Adam, would you like to take the plane off the carrier?
Yeah, we can do that. I've done it a few times, so I think I still remember how to do this. Latest updates upcoming, like always, and the aforementioned special guests, and then ask questions in chat. So preface it with the word question, and our magical little ritual spell thingy is going to collect those throughout, and we'll try to get to as many questions as we can towards the end of the stream. I wanted to call out too, since this is the probably the last time that I'm going to be putting together some of these screens. It's a little bit of a walk down memory lane, even for me, because I don't know if all these years you have even recognized that this happens, but these images on the screens that you're seeing there are updated every week. And so I've used some of them over again, like the ones that I really like, but for the most part, it's like using new images every single time we come together for one of these dev updates. And so I was feeling a little bit nostalgic last night. And since this is the last time I was going to be putting together these slides, I actually went through and found the slides from the very first dev update. And so it's going to align with what was there for the first dev update, primarily from Sword Coast Adventures Guide, I believe here. But yeah, this is those little things. Those are the little things I'm going to miss about all this. So, all right, today's lineup we've gone through, and let's talk about latest updates. So we are live with class feature feats. If you've been looking for your infusions, invocations, maneuvers, there are probably others that I'm forgetting right now, but all of those feats that you can pick up for classes that are not your primary class, that is live at this point in time and supported in D&D Beyond. That one ended up being a little more problematic than we thought it was going to be, but it was definitely a big lift from the team to get this in place. And I believe that the way that this has been done is going to set us up for the future when those kind of curveballs are thrown, should be able to respond to those a lot quicker. I was going to ask too, like, Joe, are we going to introduce the guests now, like where they can talk about these things? Or
yeah, I think that's a good use of that.
That'll be perfect. Let's do it. So Joe, I'm going to let you introduce our guests today, because they might have things to say about this stuff.
No, that is absolutely fair. I think you guys have met David Hartless before, but I'm very excited that David Hartless is joining us again this morning. And also making her dev update debut is Dani Sadczenko. So David, welcome to the show. Welcome to the dev update. How you guys?
Ooh, yeah.
Hey, everybody.
Good morning.
Fantastic.
Before we jump into updates a little bit, I'd love to, Dani, we'll start with you. Dani, could you just say hi and let everybody kind of know what you do behind the scenes over at D&D Beyond?
Sure. Hi there. I'm Dani. I'm a member of the adventure team. So we most recently brought you the game log, which is like super exciting. We also bring you dice, and then usually I'm kind of focused on marketplace things behind the scenes. So I've done a lot of that. I was responsible for gifting. So if you've ever gifted on D&D Beyond, that was kind of my baby. So yeah, I've been here for a couple of years. Been working hard behind the scenes. So happy to join everyone on the dev update.
Welcome to it. Welcome to it. Thank you very much. And David, sir, could you reintroduce yourself?
Yep, I am Dave Hartless. I'm the VP of Engineering for Fandom Tabletop, which is the part of Fandom that focuses on products like D&D Beyond.
Somebody got a promotion. I'm just saying. Somebody got a promotion. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I've been Adam's been my DM since day zero on this product. So been here from the start. I've really enjoyed working with him and getting this product built. I started in this office 9 years ago this month when we were originally Curse. So I've been here quite a while, seen this office through a couple of transitions now, and fully focused on building out this product for our users, and super happy and excited. I don't have a bad day, and I know that sounds a little cliche, but this is just a dream job for me. So I've been in it since day zero, and look forward to continue driving Adam's vision forward.
Well, thank you two for joining us, and also thank you both for welcoming me to the table. I know I really appreciate it. But all that said, people don't want to hear about my feelings. Adam, they want to hear about dice, and they want to hear these two talk about it.
Yeah, so jumping in, we've got a new subscriber dice set and dice sale. Dani or Dave, you want to jump in and talk about this a little bit?
I mean, who doesn't like dice, right? These dice are super awesome. We've had them behind the scenes for a little while. I think they may have even been like kind of leaked on a dev update or two if you were paying close attention. But they're super cool. They have a great crit effect, so they kind of like swirl in this like blizzard, and then like as the dice go away, they kind of like just float off into the snow. Really awesome set. Probably, I mean, internally, it's one of our favorites that we've done. And yeah, right now for subscribing, you can get it. So, I mean, you can subscribe. I have to double check myself. What, $2.99 for the player? So, $2.99, and you get probably the most advanced set of dice we have on our website. So it's a great way to kind of get your feet wet with dice and like get to like, try out those cool effects and see maybe what our other dice have to offer, which we also have on sale right now. So super exciting. I keep waiting for more glitter and more rainbows and more unicorns in our dice. So just know I'm fighting for that behind the scenes. But until that happens, this is like really like the coolest thing we've done.
There's always tomorrow for the rainbows and unicorns. And I can't remember what else you said, but it all sounded great.
Always glitter.
Yeah, glitter. There we go. And we do have a dice sale going on right now. Mythic and Archmage's Favor, which are, kind of some of those fancy animated dice with the critical hit effects, all of that. Those are on sale right now for $9.99, and they will be through, I believe, the 15th. Somebody fact check me there. 15th. Yeah. So the 15th. And then we got a Valentine's Day sale. And Dave, I'm going to let you talk about the Valentine's Day sale because you are a romantic at heart, and I think it's best for you to talk about it.
I've always said that.
I mean, who doesn't want to give your special someone that special dungeon crawl, right? I mean, who doesn't? So so we're running a sale on Valentine's Day, 14% off all of our digital source books.
Excellent. And then I guess I'll take this last one, but just latest updates. If you missed last week or any of the other programming we've had in between, I am leaving Fandom and D&D Beyond in the next couple of weeks. And I've already talked about how big of a decision that's been for me, and how special this journey has been, and how excited I am to see where D&D Beyond is going from here. And one of the people that you are going to definitely come to know more and more over the weeks here that is a close friend of mine is Joe Starr. And so that is Joe. So Joe, I know we introduced you a little bit the last stream that we did. I believe it was on Tuesday. What is time anymore? It's a construct. But
just live in this chair.
Maybe tell people who are joining for Dev Update the first time a little bit about yourself.
Sure. And if you want to see Adam and I get really in depth about food, you can check out
French fries and peppercorn sauce.
Absolutely. And if we ever start a company together, that's what it's called, I think.
Yeah, I like it.
But hi, my name is Joe Starr. I'm coming in to help head up content at D&D Beyond. So there's been a lot of questions as to what that means and what that doesn't mean. So here's what that means. I'm heading up content at D&D Beyond. I'm not stepping in to run the company. I'm not replacing Adam. I'm not stepping in to code the website. I can't create dice. I'm just coming in to sort of head up content. In the meantime, that means I'll be a face you'll see on camera a lot right now. Am I going to be the permanent face? No, probably not. Right now, behind the scenes, part of my job is sort of assembling a new adventure party, basically, to start bringing you guys, the same kind of content that you're digging right now. We want to really start taking some big swings, content-wise, for what D&D Beyond is bringing you, and all of that to sort of continue to be advocates, both for you, the audience, the community that we're building this for, and also, an advocate for the team behind the curtain, for Dani and Dave and everybody that is just busting their butt to bring this product to you guys. So there's going to be, some changes coming up. I think they're going to be good. I'm really excited about the folks we're talking to about coming on board, and the things we're talking about, bringing to you guys and creating and making for you guys in the future, whether it's on Twitch or it's on YouTube or it's subscriber specific content, subscriber exclusive content, I should say. So I think there's some really, really cool stuff coming down the pipe.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. And, I'll go ahead and kind of address another piece of that, because in any kind of transition like this, it is very prone to confusion out there. And, just a lot of it happening at one time. But as you said, you're coming into head content. And I get the question a lot of, who is Adam's replacement coming in? And I'll share a story. Many of you probably know at this point that I am a huge He-Man and the Masters of the Universe fan, She-Ra, everything else going on with that wonderful franchise. I'm literally looking above my camera. There's a giant poster that has, 150 of those characters battling it out in front of Castle Grayskull. So
it'd be a weird room for you to be sitting in if you didn't love him.
That is very true. That is very true. It's just very blurry back there and they can't see it. But ultimately love He-Man and Masters Universe. And one of the recent stories, so spoiler alerts, sorry about that just a second. But if you happen to read the He-Man comics, there is a moment where, He-Man, King Adam at this point in time in an advanced timeline, that he comes out at one point and he takes the power, which is, what transforms him into He-Man. And he disperses that power across a group of people. And this becomes the He-Force, and this, almost Voltron-esque grouping of people come together and do become more powerful than he was by himself. And so I am not trying, at least not consciously trying, to compare myself to He-Man. But I will say that a lot of the short-term trajectory here is there's not going to be somebody coming in and directly replacing me. Instead, the team that has been coming alongside and growing, and we've been pulling in leadership all over the place in the product, engineering, and of course we've got engineering folks here today with Dave and Dani. We've got on the marketing side and all the various functions, and then of course with Joe and content, all the various functions coming together, and that power dispersal of the power to become this force, this team force now, is what is going to be happening, at least in the short term. So hopefully that's going to clear everything up out there. It's going to be better in those ways because there's only one of me, and there are many of these leaders who are going to be stepping up here. And this is actually a pretty natural trajectory a lot of times when these kinds of products and platforms come off, because it's just too much for one person anyway. And so I did want to kind of try to clear that up a little bit. Joe's going to be heading up the content. He's going to continue to introduce you to more and more members of that team force that is going to be out there, who are wielding the power fully, amongst themselves. All right, let's see what's next. Upcoming. So general feature system, Dave or Dani, you want to talk about this just a little bit, like what that one's going to be?
Yeah, I'll take this one. So there's a concept on your character where you can gain certain attributes, certain effects, like if you join an organization, or if there's something like piety, which I think we saw out of Theros, and we have not handled those in the character sheet at all yet, and we've known that that's a hole in our rules coverage, so we are now have that on the roadmap and are beginning work on implementing that kind of system, and we're building it generically so that when these kind of systems are introduced in upcoming and future books, no spoilers there, I'm not saying they will be, but there's a high probability that we'll be able to cover those much more quickly than what we've done in the past. So once we get this system built out, you'll see those kind of things start getting added and exposed for your characters.
Simplified character data. Dave or Dani, you want to just run into that one real quick?
Take it. So yeah, we tried to get updated character information on the combat tracker, and even with like our amazing character service that you heard a lot about last year. I don't know if you guys know the size of a character and all its data, but it's massive, and we don't always need all that. So right now, that because of everyone using the combat tracker, it just puts a pretty big strain on that system. So the idea behind this is just to make it so we can retrieve that important character data we need and do it efficiently, so that we don't negatively impact other parts of the system. So this is really exciting because this is kind of the start of being able to have live updating character data in multiple parts of the website.
And we also hear a dog, so
I'm sorry.
No, no apologies. You're going to get in trouble for apologizing. All dogs all the time. Dogs all the time.
I have two wonderful dogs, and they do not like people to walk by their window. I live in an apartment, so people walk by very closely, and so they like to make sure people know that they shouldn't be loitering.
Yeah, no, as my cold, heartless regime kicks in for content, all animals all the time is going to be our way forward.
That's perfect. So dice rolls for the combat tracker. I think this one is pretty self-explanatory, but we are wanting to get to a point where dice rolls, like you're seeing on the character sheet, are pretty much in any of the places where there are dice expressions. So, this is the next step here is for the combat tracker and monster stat blocks over time, hopefully places like the compendium and so on. So anywhere where you see an XD, X plus whatever, hopefully that's going to be rollable in the future. And next step, monster stat block integration. And I'm taking Lifeboat Domain Cleric, because this one's been around for a while, and it is making the upcoming list here because the team's starting to look at Disciple of Life healing bonuses, and this is going to be one of the bigger rules exceptions and gaps that we've had over the last couple of years that is going to be addressed now. And so there are going to be more and more of those special rules like that do not conform to typical things that hit our modifier system. This is going to be something that is going to be it's in that on deck status that the team's going to be tackling very soon. So looking forward to that one being closed out as well, and expect to see more of those kinds of things as well. And then D&D Love Stories. I'm going to let you talk about that one, Joe.
Sure. So today at noon, we'll be back with just a cool panel to talk a little bit about that moment when we realized that we were committed to Dungeons and Dragons for life. Just that weird little meet cute moment where you realize that this game meant so much to you. What made you fall in love with it? Did you ever fall out of love with it? What made you fall back in love with it? Was New York a character like in most rom-coms? We're going to talk about it. Amy Dallin from Geek and Sundry and DC Daily is going to be joining us, and Sage Ryan from, I think, every online tabletop currently being played right now for D&D is going to be joining us, and Adam's going to be jumping in that one with us as well. Just a nice little celebration of all things lovey-dovey in D&D.
And that's today at noon Pacific. All right. So, yeah, we've already got our special guest. Let's jump to some questions for at least a few more minutes. How's that sound? All right. Oh, can I move though? Oh, gotcha. Okay, got it. All right, excellent. By the way, I wasn't talking to myself, talking to our producer there. All right, here we go. So Big-hearted guy, can we get a light mode asking for my cleric? I'm just not going to spend the time here. Sorry, I should have reviewed that one a little bit more. Let's take this one. D&D Geezer. Is there a timeline for a VTT now that the Trello is gone? How do we know? So couple of notes there. So the Trello public-facing roadmap is sunset at this point in time. But truthfully, we're not missing anything there, folks, because like that was on me to be updating. And I have really dropped that ball over the last, like, not even weeks, like months and months and months that has not been updated. So, so as my bandwidth became more and more slim, that was really not working to do the job of communicating what was going. The thing that folks really do need to know out there is we are absolutely marching toward all of those places that we have been sharing about for a year or two here. So things like VTT, yes, those are the directions that we're headed. There will be new ways that Joe, working with the team, will be communicating more of what's going on there. But again, this was a tool that was not going the way that it needed to. Primarily, I'll take that on my shoulders because I wasn't updating it like it needed to be updated. The last thing I'll say there is we don't provide those timelines in the first place. So even that Trello board was not providing timelines. It was just providing the things that we are planning to work on. And so no time boxing to that. So there will be continue to be new ways that is shared. Nothing has changed. It's not that any of those things that were on that are things that we're not doing anymore. It's just when that gets that outdated, and it's not updated in a very long time like that, it actually can prevent, it actually can make more confusion for everyone reading it. So that's going away, but other ways of sharing that information are going to replace it in the future.
Remember, everyone, Adam said that was his fault, so blame Adam.
Yeah, definitely my fault. I'll take that one for sure. Hard to remember that Trello board when I have 100 other notifications from the other things constantly. All right, let's see. Looking for, we got a lot of duplicates here. I'm trying to, okay. Chaotic something 920. Will you be implementing auto rerolls for abilities like great weapon fighting style, where you reroll 1s and 2s for damage in the digital dice roller? So Dave or Dani, you want to jump in on that one?
I don't have anything specific to share about that right now, but our goal is to be able to support, everything that can be done, as a character. So we certainly are looking to support more of those special cases. As you can imagine, there are a lot of them. So definitely we hear you, and we are planning to support that in the future. Obviously, no timelines or anything we can commit to right now, though.
Excellent. Another dice question. Matoshka 42. Any plan to allow for turning digital dice rolling on and off per character on a per character basis? I have some characters I'd like digital dice rolling on for, and some I don't. And I would like to not have to juggle it every time. So maybe let's expand this question to, on a enabling it on a per character basis. Is there also the concept of potentially having different dice sets on a character basis?
So definitely, absolutely something that we are considering. I don't know how much I'm allowed to fit to here. Something I definitely want to do. So they shouldn't have invited me here because I don't know. Anyway, so yes, we do want to do that.
Perfect.
We do want to do character specific configuration. That is definitely something on our horizon. We hadn't heard that specific request to be able to disable it per character though. So thank you for sharing that. Definitely we'll take that back to the team. And yeah, I'm so excited to do more things with dice. Dice are one of my favorite things that we have on our platform.
Excellent. All right, let's see. It looks like we're still doing a giveaway, so we might do a couple more questions here while we make sure that we get that done. Congratulations, Saberator, as the cleric, on getting down the reincarnated abomination. Congrats on that, and good luck to everyone out there. Let's see. So we've got this one I'll use for Dave here. Dark Abyss Keeper. What's the current biggest technical hurdle behind the scenes?
Oh, people want to see the skeletons in the closet, huh? You know, I would say our biggest technical hurdle is part of our stack is still running on top of SQL Server, which is a problem for us. You know, performance-wise, we're fine, but SQL Server is expensive, more so than it should be. So we are still, you know, trying to roadmap in technical debt projects to help us migrate off of that particular database. And, you know, we're doing that a couple of different ways. Some of the new systems that we build, we're building outside of that monolith, and they have their own isolated data stores. Some of the existing features, we're going to have to do data migrations out of SQL Server onto other type of data stores. So that's probably our biggest technical debt issue that we're going to have to handle over the next, you know, 12 to 18 months.
Excellent. All right, we'll end with this one because I've gotten this a bunch, so I'll take a selfish one here. Puppetar 12. Hi, Adam. Are there any updates to your planned Coldplay parody rock opera? That is going to see the light of day. It's going to see the light of day in my new gig, wherever that is, because I've been working on that one personally for many, many months. And so, yes, it will release at some point in time for inside my next adventure. So you can follow me on Twitter to get more updates about that. And then lastly, this one was good. Adventure Fight. And this will be our last one because it looks like we have given out the bundles now. Adventure Fight, is there a tutorial for linking the game log and Avre? Dave, do you know about that?
I'm pretty sure that Andrew Andrew is our engineer that and the original founder of Avre. He's working with us now. I believe that if the tutorial isn't already done, it will be in relatively short order. So there will probably be more information about that on you know, the Avre site or inside the bot itself pretty soon.
Yep. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. That's perfect. All right, we'll close there. Joe, I'm going to let you take us out.
Great. Well, again, Dani, Dave, thank you guys so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. Adam, still up in my feelings about this being our first and last great ride together after talking about doing this for so long. Have plenty of chances to force you to cry and feel emotional before you get out. I promise you we'll be doing that. In fact, just as a tease,
challenge accepted.
Next week's dev update, we'll be introducing some more team members. We will be, well, you know what? I keep talking about how important community is. I keep saying it. So next week, you're going to meet Melly, who's holding this community together, doing an absolutely amazing job. So next week, you're going to meet Melly. Very excited about that. And then we're going to do a bunch of emotionally manipulative things to get Adam into his feelings, to see him off and wish him well. We'll see you guys today at noon Pacific time for D&D Love Stories. We'll be back on Tuesday to do a little bit of more one-on-one with Adam and I, and then we'll see you next week for the dev update. Thanks, everybody. Be well. Hello, world.